Question 1, what is the domain? Those are the x values, so we need to look at just the x. 2, 4, 3, and 2. So we have 2, 4, 3, and 2. You don't have to repeat 2 and then 2 again. We just know that we use the 2 twice, we use the 3, and then we use the 4. So we know our answer is B. Question 2, which graph below is a function? We're going to do the vertical line test. The vertical line test is whenever you're drawing lines that are up and down vertically, and we're testing to see if it only hits the graph one time. So if I do the vertical line test here, I hit it twice, that is not a function. If I do the vertical line test here, you see it hits it once, but look what happens when I start doing the vertical line test here. You'll see that we hit the graph more than once, that is not a function. If I do the vertical line test here, you can see it hits the graph more than once. That is not a function. And we know that this quadratic, that is a function. I'm only hitting the graph once, so my answer is B. 3, what is the range? We're talking about the y values for the graph below. So these are both closed circles. My symbols have to be all closed circle symbols, and they are, so I can't cross anything out. So we're talking about the y. We're talking about building a floor. So let's build a floor. Can we build a floor? Yes, I can build a floor, and I hit a closed circle, so I'm going to put down my closed circle symbol. And where does the floor start at in the y? Well, it looks like it starts at -3. So now we need to build a ceiling. So if I put my ceiling up here, notice I hit another closed circle, and it actually stops at +2. And we're talking about the y direction. So we need to match up which expression matches up to ours, and it looks like it's C. 4, what is the parent function for the graph below? It's a quadratic. You should have that memorized. It's y equals x squared. 5, what is the domain? The domain we're talking about in the x direction for the graph below. So we're trying to trap the graph from left to right. I want to know how far can it go. Well, if I start over here on the left, it's a closed circle, and I can build a fence. So when we're talking about in the x direction, pretend like you are walking from left to right. How far to the left can I go? Well, it looks like I can only go over to -3. And it's a closed circle, so I'm going to put down my closed circle symbol, and we build the fence at -3. But look right here, you see an arrow. And an arrow means that this line will go on forever. You cannot build a fence on an arrow. So that means I cannot build anything in over here. I can't write anything down as far as fencing that in. We're talking about the x. And then let's see if we can match anything up. Well, it doesn't look like we have anything that matches up exactly like this. So sometimes you have to rewrite it. And you can rewrite that as x. Notice the symbol here, like the little alligator, is eating the x. So now we can match that up, and we can see that our answer is B. 6, which statement is true? These are mapped out, so I can write 2, 12. 1 goes with 1. I'm going to write this down. 1, 1. 0 goes with 3. 0, 3. -2 goes with -4. And -6 goes with +1. -6 goes with +1. And as I'm writing this down, I already know that this is a function because none of my x values are repeated. So take a look at A. The relation is a function. That's true. Question 7, what is the range? We're talking about how far in the y direction, how far up and down does this graph travel? So we're going to need to build a floor. See if we can build a floor. So we're going to start on the bottom of the graph. This will be the floor. And notice I hit an open circle. If you hit an open circle, you use your open circle symbol. And where does the floor start? This is the y-axis. Where does it start? It starts at, you want to start from the origin. So here we go, 1, 2. It starts at +3 in the y. Now let's build a ceiling. Let's see if we can trap this guy in. So we're going to build a ceiling right here. And when we do that, we hit a closed circle. We're going to use our closed circle symbol. And the ceiling is at, if we start here at the origin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like the ceiling is at 7. It's kind of hard to see that, 7, so there we go. And we're talking about the y, so we're going to put the y in the middle, and then we just simply match up what we have. Our answer is D.